Viewers, now we will enjoy Chapter 8 of this story. The story is called The Chase. Story writer, Charles Pendelton. Bobby ran as fast as his feet would carry him across the landscape, then through a colonnade of trees, where the tarmac soon faded into a cobblestone road. A horse-drawn carriage passed him by before dissolving into the ether of time, much like an ominous cloud drifting along on its way to infinity. When the road changed into a flowery path that had recently been trampled, Bobby knew Marcy couldn't be far ahead. He also knew that she wasn't only running forward, she was running backward in time. Ahead in the distance was an archway. The trees on both sides ended the moment the structure appeared, but Bobby kept running. As he got about midway inside, he heard a howling roar, but nothing was going to deter him from making it out the other side, until he saw the train chugging along. That brought him to a full stop. He knew he couldn't make it back, and he certainly couldn't continue going forward. The black smoke puffing out was a clear indicator that it was a wood-burning steam locomotive approaching, one manufactured during the early 1860s. He also knew that he could not lie down on the roadbed of the railroad track either, because the cowcatcher that was mounted to the front of the engine was low to the tracks. But there were no cowcatchers on locomotives in France, only in the United States, so why was he seeing it now? Was there a glitch in time that had caused this error? And how did he know all of this? Surely he never learned it in school. Bobby knew he was going to die. When death approaches, it often sends out signals, warnings to those in its path that their time is running out. It's in that fleeting moment, when your life flashes before your eyes, that you truly realize it's over. "Worry not, for the train will not harm you," said a familiar voice. Bobby remembered the voice. It was the old man he had seen earlier. The oncoming train should have drowned it out, yet he heard it as clear as day. Instinctively, Bobby pressed himself against the wall and prayed. The train roared past. Had he lived in the age of locomotives, it would have torn him in two. But instead it echoed off into oblivion and continued along the route it was headed for in 1862. For no apparent reason, he knew that he had to turn right after exiting the tunnel, after which the road would lead him to a small walkway that extended over a brook. Continuing forward was the Chateau de Pierre Augustin. Oddly enough, he also knew that when he came to the inn, Marcy would be there. "My God, Bobby, what have you done? You shouldn't have followed me here. You're my friend. I had to make sure you were okay. Is this where you grew up?" "Yes. I come back here from time to time. It makes me feel good to know that my parents are not here. I mean, if they're not here by now, then they're obviously not coming." "What brought you to the carnival?" "I never saw a carnival, only a funhouse to explore." "Then you must have been there for a while." "I'd say about 3 days, which isn't terribly long."
"Did you know I was coming?" "Yes." "How did you know?" "I heard that a boy would need my help, so I stayed." "Who did you hear it from?" "It was a voice, nothing more. Just a voice in my head." "Was it by any chance a voice you heard recently?" "Heavens to Betsy! It was that man in the brown cape." "Did you just say heavens to Betsy?" Bobby laughed. "Don't you dare laugh at me. Don't you ever laugh at her." "Laugh at who, Marcy?" "My sister." "I don't understand, and I don't expect you to understand," Marcy said with a sneer. "Would you be upset if I asked you to explain it to me?" "I'd be upset if you didn't." "Then please do." It was an eerily cold day in December 1837. The clouds were thickening and the livestock was becoming anxious. The wind was blowing like crazy, and the weather vane atop the barn was spinning round and round. The only thing I could think about was the safety of my sister and me. Betsy was running around the yard hollering when the gusty breeze must have thrown her for a loop. Poor thing, she dashed the side of her head against an anvil that remained near the barn door entrance, and it cracked like an egg. When I found her, the wind was so oppressive and combating me so fiercely, the soles of my shoes were practically gliding on the ground. My parents were at a nearby market and didn't return home for the next 2 hours. When they arrived, I was hysterical. I told them what had happened and expected them to accuse and berate me for not watching her properly. That wasn't the case. Instead, they told me not to worry and that she would return soon. There must have been a small tornado because her body was never found. That night, I heard my mother and my father talking. All I remember is my mother saying, "Heavens to Betsy, thank you for saving us the cost of a casket. No one would have visited you anyway." And laughing, and laughing, and laughing.
Charles Pendleton writes with a cinematic, time-warping style that fuses psychological realism with the surreal. His prose is rich, deliberate, and haunting, crafted with the precision of a storyteller who paints emotions as vividly as he paints scenes. Viewers, we will be back to you soon with the next chapter, number 9. We will publish one chapter story every week. Let us know in the comments how you felt after reading the story. Subscribe to our The Hideaway channel and stay with us. Thank you, everyone.